So beautiful. So full of talent. I really understand why Self decided that your life should take a turn.
Yes, you're quite appetizing, but you're not here for compliments. You'll shed unnecessary baggage.
A bond that needs to be severed.
In other words, you'll butcher someone. Who'll be the butchered one?
Don't worry, I think you'll manage. Luther's probably eager to meet you too. He's surely full of pride.
Yes, perhaps we shouldn't keep those birds waiting. We've kept him here quite long enough. He might be getting bored.
Only if our guest has no more questions.
Who are we, dear Sympathy?
Who are we, dear trickster?
No one's special. Bit like you, guest.
Don't say that. We have meaning after all. Once, we were crows. My companion walked the path of self. I followed the path of war. I thought I was destined to serve as a priest in the name of Bad.
Plans change.
Plans do change indeed.
Incredible. You won't see self in action. No one ever does. Self is that good.
Stop it. I'm getting jealous. The High Priest of Bad, one of the most distinguished to ever hold the title. He taught me many things, including that a child of Morrigan can exist without a body. Thanks to his teachings, Trickster and I were able to survive.
You give him far too much credit. We botched the task entrusted to us.
But we also showed creativity. We transferred our essence to this place.
Morrigan decided we were quite the spectacle. She allowed us to continue existing, but only here.
Without a physical, tangible form. We observed the outside world through the many pairs of crow eyes it offers us.
In the House of Madness.
Stop saying such nonsense, Trickster. This is a place, dear fledgling, that was once home to Morrigan herself. She let in a little light and allowed us to dwell here. Since then, we've taken to hosting talented fledglings, or Morrigan's favorites. Those who, for some reason, were meant to find their way into the void.
Favorites? Makes you wonder why war hasn't visited us in so long.
Eventually, you will.
Alive or not. Did you know that young cuckoos sometimes push other chicks out of the nest? For a moment, you'll become just like that cuckoo.
This will help you grow up a little. Oh dear. I think even Luth would be disappointed. He was expecting an exciting fight.
Me too.
Yes, a fight.
Finally, something interesting.
I'll keep my wings crossed.
So you've returned. Did you have a nice nap? Was the company to your liking? Such heavy accusations. What exactly have I lied to you about now? Ah, and spoil the surprise. No, that wouldn't do. And what would you have done if you had known? Wondered how to avoid him? Wondered how to beat him? You would have thought and thought and thought. And while you were lost in your thoughts, Luth would have snuffed you out like a candle. Trust me, sometimes it's better not to know. Me? Not as such. What I do have for you is a meeting. Perhaps the most important one of your life. You are to meet with War, the High Priest of Badb. The rest will be in his hands, and most importantly, in yours. That is all I can tell you. Now go, my fledgling. And may Morrigan's wings shield you from enemy eyes.
Welcome, child of Morrigan. Now you stand before her presence, ready to receive the highest honor. I went by that name once, yes. Now, you see me as the embodiment of war, one of the three holy aspects of the goddess Morrigan. Ask your questions, child, before the time comes to fulfill our goddess's will. You stand before the goddess of war, death, and destruction, and you're surprised that I used deception to test your dedication. I thought your time with the children would have taught you that the ends justify the means. My purpose has always been to recruit only the most worthy followers. Then you would have proven they were unworthy. If a hatchling could overcome a crow and its fledglings, then they weren't fit to serve Morrigan. You would have purged our ranks, and I would have found new devotees. It wouldn't be the first time a high priest took such measures. What do you take me for, child? A mercenary commander. Serving Morrigan is no common duty. It's a calling you feel, or don't. And only the most faithful may stand before Morrigan's presence. Your actions are meaningless if the Corax hasn't revealed itself to you. The Corax is Morrigan's herald, a promise of liberation. The Corax's appearance is a sign that it's time for the children to step from the shadows and declare their dominion over Avalon. And I know the Corax favors you most often. Such is Morrigan's will. Precisely. For too long, we've lurked in the shadows, preventing Morrigan from claiming her rightful throne among the gods. We've ruled Avalon for centuries, guiding its fate according to our goddess's will. So why shouldn't we openly claim what's already ours? Imagine it, child. All united under Morrigan's banner. A supreme goddess who cares for her followers, unlike the absent All-Mother. We'll bring peace on our terms, with Morrigan's blessing. Indeed, I have faith, but no certainty. And since it's you who has the honor of witnessing the Corax, I'll send you as an emissary before our goddess. Seems she has chosen you for this communion, and I humbly accept her will. Find out what our goddess requires of us, and I will ensure her will becomes law. I've seen it in a vision, the nest, where your meeting will take place. Listen well, for her words are sacred, and return swiftly to bring me her will. May Morrigan's wings shield you from prying eyes.
called. And here he is. The king, torn to shreds, pieced back together. Decide. The paths of self. Whispers in the shadows. Wings gliding silently on the wind. Crow eyes. Watching. Patient. Or the path of war. The wild screech. An open assault. Beaks and claws. Blood. They die by your hand. Their paths cannot merge, like day and night, like breath and scream. One must yield to the other. You ask a crow what it prefers? Warm blood or cold carrion? The crow feeds on what fate delivers. All will fall into my claws when the time comes. So be it. Walk the path of silence. The wind will carry your whispers. The enemy will not see you. War will not sense your blade. Bury it deep in his back.
Speak. What is the will of the goddess? What is this? You dare lie to the High Priest to fulfill Self's traitorous will? I see through you. You blaspheme. For Morrigan's will has always been to seize dominion over the world, and I cannot be mistaken in interpreting her signs. That is true. I never thought of it that way. Are you saying that I am the blasphemer, bringing the children into the light? How could have I been so wrong? But grant me one thing. Let me die fighting. Let your spilled blood pay for my sin.
You did splendidly, my crow. Tell me, did you truly speak with Morrigan? That's surprisingly reassuring, I must admit. Honestly, I thought Morrigan was more of a myth than an actual goddess guiding us. I'm almost envious, Crow. I can't recall anyone in the history of the children who's spoken with the goddess face to face. I will guide the children of Morrigan in the way we've always known. In the shadows that protect us. In the shadows, we are safe. We can focus on what truly matters. Building security and creating stability in these chaotic, unpredictable times. And I suggest you do the same. Act with wisdom and prudence in your decisions, so that you may forever remain a child of Morrigan. And remember, you'll always have a place here from now on. May Morrigan's wings forever shield us from prying eyes. Somehow, that sounds truer now.
I swear, if I catch that bastard, I'll shove all 5 volumes right up his arse. What? Aye, something happened. Some blighter broke in and stole every book about the beautiful Liliana. Not a loose page left. That's most of my income gone in the wind. Aye, one of the soldiers. He threw a fit a few days ago, 'cause I wouldn't sell him the latest volume on credit. There's no chance I'd ever allow that. Give it 2 months, I'd be bankrupt. Aye, 'cause Denholm's got nothing better to do than go around asking his men if they nicked all the porn from the local Del Rita bookshop. I'd be laughed out of his tent. Can't say I wouldn't be grateful. The lad's name is Walter. He's, well, all in all, he's no a bad sort. Just a little hot-headed. So if you do find him, try not to rough him up too much, alright? Well, I've calmed down. Apologies. Welcome to Vrel's bookshop. No reading without buying. And if you're here for porn, then kindly leave before you start. Before you ask, no. I do not have any books personally signed by Merlin, nor will I fake his signature.
Always a... Hello there, strange-looking citizen. A reputation? Me? For what? Standing around looking tough? Oi, wait a moment. You think I stole those books? Beautiful Liliana is... sacred to me, all right? I'd never touch Vrel's stash, I swear. I was saving up for the new volume. Now it's gone? How the hell am I supposed to know what happens to Liliana next? No! I dunno. But there's this red priest hanging around who loves scaring the crap out of soldiers. Always preaching doom and sin, you know? And you know what's worse? That damn priest saying Liliana's, inspiring moments are why I'll be cursed. He told me I'd grow hair on the inside of my palms. What kind of nutter says that to a bloke? Is that even a thing? Damn brother Ismat got me paranoid. You're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking. Inside my palms? Oh no. Oh gods, no. What do I do? Is it gonna spread? Can I hold a sword? I can't live like this. What if it starts itching? Oh, he's probably at the Red Church headquarters. That's where they're always praying and doing whatever it is that Red Priests do. Just be careful. The man's got a way of making you feel like you're already cursed. Creepy bastard. See you later. Don't let the weirdness bite, eh?
You doing okay?
We are the sanctified martyrs. Through blood we strive for purity. Yes? What reason do you have to interrupt my prayer? What could be more important than this? I know which sinner you speak of. I also know he intended to read those books, tainted with lechery. I could not allow that, because I know all too well what they do to minds prone to living in impurity, as I know what that man intended to do with his sweaty hands panting over the next chapter. He intended to stain his soul with sin. People who are lost for their entire lives don't even realize they're on a path to nowhere, that each new crossroads only leads them more astray. I only want to protect them from this. I want to ensure that their life's path would have fewer moments of doubt over whether to succumb to temptation or resist it. Of course, I am a Red Priest, after all. I know much about the struggles of the spirit, about what shatters a person's dignity, about the acts that cloud the mind with a fog. I see. You won't let this go. Yes, I stole those books that are thick with words yet imparting no virtue, filled with vulgar, scandalous illustrations. What did I plan? To burn them, of course. That is what Miss Liliana deserves. That is the fate that befalls a rakish infidel. Yes, you heard correctly. Do you think I don't know what's in those books? I won't deny it. I took a peek inside. I needed to understand the sheer scale of depravity we are dealing with. I acknowledge that sin is a natural part of the soul, yet equally natural should be penance, to free oneself from that sin. Chasteness does not come easily, but that is why it is a virtue, granting oneself relief through such primitive and vulgar acts, engaging with something as vile as these books. Have you read A Sermon on the Paths of Discipline by Brother Flamen? He makes a proper statement about those types of deviations. Hands that stray toward idle pleasures build no temple. So, what has someone like you gleaned from them? I am most curious, especially since it's written that a hand that lingers on selfish desire serves no purpose higher than itself. Know this, the seed is sacred, meant not for waste, but for the cultivation of life and the service of greater purpose. Of course it serves a purpose, a vain and impure one. Such self-gratification weakens the spirit and body. It compels the heart to submit to every fleeting whim. Meanwhile, to be men means resisting those whims, holding back the hand from striking, restraining the hand from depravity. How can a man be ready to protect his loved ones if he's so willing to blind himself through sin? Just to remind you, a blind man cannot fulfill his service either to his kin or Kay, which makes him barren and forever lost. I see you didn't stop your reading of Flamen at A Sermon on the Paths of Discipline, and you've cited the perfect passage. That's precisely the point. What ultimately guides the hand to sin is, after all, the human heart ablaze with unchecked desire. The same sermon says, "Remember, therefore, that the gift of life is for sharing and not for consuming alone." Woe, then, to the hearts driven by selfish desire, as those hearts won't listen to the word. I fear that sometimes this tone is necessary in priestly service. We know human nature all too well, do we not? Avoiding an admission of guilt does not mean avoiding punishment. Someone may treat my teachings with disdain, but ultimately, they will still stand before Kay and her word. Your words, however, are wise, and they lead towards reflection. And there it is, the image of modern humanity, knowing no virtues. Stripping purity from every aspect of life, you kill holiness. And then, in the face of life's hardships, you ask where grace has gone. What? How can you even speak like that? How can you place the prophet's name in the same sentence with someone doing such hideous things? I'll pretend I didn't hear that. This is not about control, my child, but about opening the eyes of those who cannot see. Would it not be better if each of us were ready to receive the prophet's word? A body that succumbs to temptation is a weak body. That is precisely why we must maintain purity, to be ready at any moment to receive the grace of the prophet. As Brother Flamen says, treat your body like a sacred place, not a disgusting brothel, as the pursuits of bodily pleasures is like blindness. That is, of course, an astute observation, and proof that you've read the sermon thoroughly. However, I am full of faith that I have been placed on this path precisely to make such judgments in the prophet's name. Still, one could also view it from the perspective you mentioned. Yes. So, dear stranger, where did our little discourse lead you? What about my role in all of this? Where would people be without priests, striving to protect them from sin and impurity? It is true that I myself was not always a priest. I did not always live guided by purity. Did that make me someone who hurt others or a bad person? I believe it did not. That's a thought worth remembering. Enough, stranger. I see you've tried, but I won't debate matters of faith further. I remain unshaken. The books will burn. Now, let me return to my prayer. Let not thy flesh... Accept my offering.
Always a pleasure to see you. Catch you later, yeah?
Welcome back. Do you need any recommendations? Damned red priests. You'd think they'd have bigger problems than a bit of questionable literature. They don't have to like it. But nobody's forcing them to read it either. Well, thanks for looking into it. For whatever it's worth. One more thing. I can see you're alright. And I hope I can trust you. We need to talk. No this time. I'm not in the mood to even joke about that. This time, it's serious. A matter of life and death, you could say. There's a stone tablet in Lord Devane's manor. A Del Rita relic. and I need you to get it for me. The tablet was made by the Theud tribe and given to House Tarion as a token of friendship between the Delrida and the people of Cunacht. It's cursed, I suppose. Look, I'm no Theud. I don't pretend to understand their magic. But I do know the tablet causes nightmares. The thicker the weirdness, the worse they get. And, well, we all know what happened to Lady Maeve. If that tablet killed her, it can't stay in the manor. Aye, if I'd known, I would have said something. But I didn't. No until the Stone Wardens reached out to me a while ago, asking if I could petition Lord Devane to return the tablet to the Delrida. I own a bookshop. I don't exactly have the social standing to march into Yvain's manor and demand he hand over an ancient artifact, do ya? Maybe it should, but it's also history. If the Stone Wardens are right, this tablet is one of the oldest examples of Theud craftsmanship. A piece of Delrida magic that survived on Avalon for centuries. Still, if it comes down to it, if it's a choice between taking it or leaving it behind to do more harm, destroy it. I'll deal with the Stone Wardens afterwards. Ask any Ulf, and they'll tell you the whole Theud tribe isn't honourable, just because they use magic. They'll also call the Volker a bunch of raving lunatics. But while I don't put much stock in prejudice, it does feel wrong. No everybody gets an open door invitation to the Lord's Manor just for showing up in Cunacht, you know. It's not like I haven't tried. I spoke to that snake, Anselm, but he practically threw me out the gate. He set a price so high, I'd have to sell my bookshop and still come up short. When I told him about the danger, he accused me of lying. Said I need to learn how to haggle. What a smug, spineless wee worm. Why? Knowing that you might have saved many lives is no enough for you? Of course there's a reward. The Stone Wardens left me some gold, and it'll be yours. You know, I was just going to ask you to talk to Anselm for me. But if breaking in is what you prefer, I'll only stop you. Just try not to get caught, alright? That would be embarrassing for both of us.
Always a pleasure to see you.
What do you want?
I should stay out of trouble. Just passing through? Go. Ah, there you are. What news do you bring to the court today? Are you now? My, have the paraphernalia of the Dalriata suddenly become fashionable while I wasn't looking? That tablet seems to be gaining in popularity by the day. I told Pharrell the price, 2,000, and that's final. Truly? Well, I suppose there's no accounting for taste. Still, better you than Dalriata. She put us in a terrible position, you know. She came here and demanded we hand over part of our treasury just because it was once theirs, as if we could afford to show any more weakness. Take the tablet, do whatever you wish with it. I never want to hear about it again.
What is it?
Oh, hello there.
Hello again. If you need anything specific, feel free to ask. Aye, it would be. Delrida know how to work stone in the most intricate way, but we're also quite fond of grandiosity. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you not to part with it just yet. The Stone Wardens are waiting for it, and I can't really be seen lugging it around. And you're very strong. You can handle it with no problem. Here's the reward I promised. And I'm sure Kvor will have a little extra something for you too.
Don't let your guard down.
A gift? Ah, I see. And you lug that thing all the way from Kurnacht? For that alone, you have my respect. Now, let's take a look. Ah, so that's what happened. The stone chipped, and the meaning of the runes changed. Sweet dreams turned into living nightmares. This is why I don't trust magic. The simplest, stupidest thing can end up killing you. Well, there is now, but no, I don't think it started as one. I don't know the runes well enough to be certain, so I'll have to ask the Thoyd brothers for details. But it looks more like a blessing than a curse. At least now they can rest easy, knowing their tribe hasn't done something so dishonorable. Aye, and I'd say because of cracks between people too. If we hadn't strayed so far from one another, maybe all of this could have been avoided. Then again, maybe not. Maybe fate makes no mistakes. I suppose we'll never know. But you're not here to listen to a blacksmith getting maudlin. Here, this is for your trouble. May your burdens be lighter to carry from now on.